welcome to CouchCon Plays. Today we are playing Well Played, the board game cafe in Asheville, North Carolina. So let us introduce ourselves.
I'm Tobias. I'm the resident anime nerd. I travel to conventions all throughout the Southeast, presenting panels and lectures on a number of topics, and hopefully convince people to watch more than just Miyazaki movies.
I'm Emi-chan. I have an anthropology degree with a focus in Japanese culture. And because of that, I watch too much anime, I read too much manga, I eat too much Japanese candy, and am pretty much just weeb trash.
I'm Steven. I'm into science and technology, and I play board games and tabletop role-playing games and video games.
Awesome. So CouchCon is here to help you through your nerdy life. We're going to bring you fun things to do, fun things to watch, and info that you probably didn't know. This particular segment is CouchCon Plays because we went and played something, and now we want to tell you about it. Tobias, what did we play?
Well, we didn't really play a particular game. We played a location, Well Played, in Asheville, North Carolina.
That's right. So, what is Well Played? Stephen, how would you describe it?
Well, it's a cafe, and there's like a cover charge, and then they let you play board games.
Yeah, it is a cafe, but it's not like your typical cafe. It's not like a Starbucks. You're not going into like a trendy sort of all gray palette modern cafe. You're going into a really friendly, bright environment with well-organized games and an intimate setting in that the tables are all very close together, so you could have a small party or a large party.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they have a couple booths, which are pretty wide, fit maybe 3 people to a side, so 6 to a table or so.
Yeah.
There are a couple of individual tables which you could sort of bring together or just split depending on how many people are there. I really liked that they have that large library selection you can pick from.
Yeah.
But then they also had like the game master, that one employee that was there to walk around, make sure you understood the game. If you need help setting up or the rules explanation, he was there, could easily jump in and help moderate that, which is really helpful, especially if you're playing something you haven't played before, or if you're sort of a noob to board gaming to begin with, sort of go in and feel more comfortable playing.
Yeah, we were waiting on one of our party members, and I was there, and I just asked them, like, hey, we got like 3 people, we're waiting on some more, and, we just want something real quick and easy, and, they have an encyclopedic knowledge of all the games there, so they could really easily be like, bam, 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 these are the ones you want to do. It was good.
Yeah. Cool.
I would describe it as someplace you can go to play board games if maybe your home environment isn't the best for playing board games. Maybe you live in the dorms. Maybe you have a really tiny apartment and you have 10 people coming over and you're going to play something really epic and you need more space. That's what we did. We got special permission to bring a particularly large game in because we never get to play it because we don't have enough space.
Right.
Yeah, there's no cats there to knock stuff over.
There's no cats or small children. I mean, there might be small children, but if there's not any in your party, then you don't have to worry about that. What about the food? It is a cafe, so you also get to eat while you're playing your games. Tobias, how would you describe the food?
It was pretty standard for a cafe. They have a variety of hot drinks, cold drinks, including beer on tap and bottles and cans. Most of the food was just very quick finger foods. So they did have just small things like animal crackers, goldfish. Mm-hmm. They had an adult Lunchables plate, which has salami and cheese and crackers, so it was sort of a grown-up version.
I got that. It was delicious.
Yeah. Stephen and I both got a sandwich, their King of Club sandwich, which wasn't amazing, but it was a lot better than I was expecting.
It was a club sandwich.
It was better than I expected going into it.
Yeah,
I think it had a pesto aioli, which is
pretty good.
Really A+ choice.
Really they had other small plates on there too. I got like a pie, just because it was there and I like pie, so I got it.
Yeah, the seasonal pie. Yeah. I got the Chessman's gingerbread cookie, which was soft and delicious and amazing, and also like that big. Yeah. So it's a massive cookie.
Yeah. They had a small but decent selection of beers,
Yeah.
and wine, cider on tap.
You
I mean,
can get a
I went in
personal-
expecting nothing too special, but it was definitely a step above.
Yeah. You can get a personal pizza, so pretty much everything you can, munch with your fingers so that you can still be playing your game. It's not going to interfere. It's all about the game.
Exactly.
What game did we play, Steven?
Harry Potter's Battle of Hogwarts.
Yeah, we played years 1 through 3. It's a really fun game, but it does take up a lot of table space. So if you're like us and you have a really tiny game table, it's nice to have a place like Well Played where you can go.
Yeah. And just to describe that, it's pretty much a deck building game.
Yeah.
It's a cooperative deck building
Game.
game. Yeah. So you each play one of the students in the book series, and you have like your deck starts out with a small set of spells, and you get newer spells or better spells, and but you're all trying to defeat the dark wizards, and they're trying to, I guess, take over Hogwarts.
And I really enjoyed the cooperative aspect. It was also very different than the Legacy series, like Alien and Firefly that they put out here. Very different format than those type of games. So I really, as someone who really enjoys deck building games, I thought it was a really interesting.
I do enjoy deck building games. They're not my favorite, but I do enjoy them, and I think the cooperative deck building is a lot better
Indeed.
than like the competitive ones.
It's a fabulous game. It's by USAopoly, and you guys should check it out. Like I mentioned, we did get special permission to bring it in. They normally don't allow outside games because they want you to take advantage of their game master, and if you surprise him, he might not know what game you're playing. That was the case with us. I brought this game in, and he didn't know much about it, but we had a really great talk about it, and I think that he might be interested in getting to know more about it and maybe adding it to the collection, so that was a lot of fun. Well, let's talk about our pros and cons list for Well Played. Tobias, what are your personal pros and cons?
So on the plus side here, I really like the environment. I feel like even the small things like the choice of colors on the wall and the designs really help let you stay focused. It's not a normal cafe or bar where you kind of want to like keep things dim and muted. It's very bright. It keeps you focused on the goal, playing board games. I really like their selection. They have a huge selection there. Like I said, the tables and the booths were pretty large as well. And having that person on hand to help explain those games takes a little bit of the anxiety off, especially if you're trying to play something you're not really familiar with. You don't have that awkward face that everybody hates when you play board games where you flip through the rules for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. One person is responsible for knowing the rules and everyone blames it on that person. If you have that person there to help you get through that awkward phase, that was really good. On the negative side, I feel like the main issue we had was the noise level.
Yeah.
We got there at about 7 on a Friday. It wasn't too bad at first, but by the time we left at 10, especially playing this cooperative board game, it was a little difficult to really hear each other. And I honestly didn't think a board game cafe would be really like a hop in place on Friday at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no.
But it really
It
was
was.
by the time we left, and which I guess is good on them for sure. But on the other hand, it's something I think that personally I would wait until maybe Saturday or Sunday morning, or like early afternoon, or even if you get like a weekday off,
Weekday, yeah.
do that instead. Personally, there. Other than that, I feel like the tables, while large, weren't really large enough to host the larger board games. So you're not going to play Arkham Horror at this place. We could barely fit our own deck building game on here, as it were. And granted, we could have condensed a little space, but a huge game like that or Twilight Imperium,
That's not
probably not going to be able to play here, even with the circumstances.
You wouldn't even want to play Twilight Imperium there.
It's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah.
But the fact that you don't really have an option.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for me, pros, I was really impressed with the food. I only got like finger snacks. Like I said, I got the adult Lunchable and I got the gingerbread cookie, but I got 2 nice hot cups of tea, and like I like that I didn't have to be like, hey, can I have more tea? It was just like, oh look, more tea appeared.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really surprised by the food. I really like the design and layout. I like that when you walk in, there's somebody to greet you and explain to you what they're gonna do. And then you have to walk through the board game library, so you get to see this just spoiled for choice, overwhelming wall of board games before you sit down and decide what you want to play. The staff is a really big plus. They were all incredibly friendly and really helpful. everybody clearly enjoys being there, which makes a huge difference compared to some other restaurants. You know, you've been in a restaurant where you got the waitress that's very clearly like not thrilled to be there that day.
Yeah.
We did not have that happen. Cons, the booth seats are uncomfortable if you're going to be sitting there for more than like an hour. We were there for 3 hours playing this cooperative game, because it's kind of a big, hefty, chunky game, and by the time I stood up, I could not feel my bum at all. Noise level was a problem, especially since, we have members who are hard of hearing. It makes it hard when you're trying to play a cooperative game and the people behind you are playing Name 5 and they're screaming 5 random things out at the top of their lungs. So that can make it a little bit awkward. If you're more into a very intimate sort of game setting, maybe this isn't the best place. But saying that, those are really the only 2 cons I have. My chair wasn't super comfortable and it was loud, which, good, it's a game cafe. Like, people should be having fun. Having that game master there, though, is just, that puts it over the top.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that you can go in and ask somebody, hey, I want to learn to play a 2-player card game. Find me a 2-player card game. Let's play. It's nice having that sort of person in your back pocket. Steven, what do you think?
So overall, I liked it. One of my one of the biggest pros for me is the fact that everyone was focused on game playing. I'm not a person that likes to just kind of be at somebody's house and they're like, hey, let's play this game. Like, to me, that's distracting. I like to go in, especially like for D&D or something like that, where like it's on the schedule. That is what we're doing that night, right? Like, and this actually caters to that really well. It's like we're going to this place, and we're playing a game, and everyone there is going to play the game. I really like that. That was probably the biggest pro for me. The venue was really good, as well lit, staff and everything. You guys have covered that stuff. That stuff's really nice. Their game library is very good, very well thought out. I think they picked and chose games that are good for that venue. Mm-hmm. One of them they saw like Hungry Hippos, which is like, like you'd never like play Hungry Hippos like as an adult or whatever. But when you're there, you're in that environment. That game looks really appealing. I thought that was a good choice. So they have a really well curated list of games, and they're always doing it. There were even like newer games that have come out like recently, so they're always keeping up with that. Obviously, like if you want to play a game that you don't own and you don't want to shell out the $65-$70 for it, go play it first. I thought the food was actually, you're right. I mean, I thought the food was really good. One thing I really enjoyed was their wait staff. Their food wait staff. They snuck in and like refilled my water glass like without me knowing about it. They waited for a lull in the gameplay to interrupt us, and that was really good. Right?
I didn't think about that.
Right,
this is the thing you don't really think.
You don't think about it. I noticed this because like a couple of times, like they waited for somebody's turn to be done, and then they asked them a question, and I was like, that is really good. Like that is top-notch service. So some of my cons, obviously the noise level was pretty loud. Hungry Hippos gets really loud. Some of the there were larger groups that were getting very loud. They had an echoing issue, which kind of that's just par for the course. You can't really do anything about that. But it did kind of hurt our ability to play the game in somewhat, especially maybe not while we were playing the game, but while we were explaining the rules, right? That's a huge thing. You can go back to what you were saying, Tobias, about explaining the rules to somebody is kind of the hardest part about playing a lot of these board games. The noise level just kind of amped it up a little bit too much. A pet peeve of mine is there wasn't a single coaster in the entire place. Yeah. There were water rings all over the tables. This was our personal game, so that was an issue. But even still, like it's just a pet peeve of mine. So I noticed a lot of the games that we like looked through off the shelf and stuff had like little like rough edges. They got a lot of wear, right? And obviously, I mean, it's like a library book, right? Like I don't know what people do to those things. They just hit them with hammers or something. But
Well played. Might I suggest card sleeves
card sleeves, yeah,
and coasters?
coasters. But you know, like the drinks are wonderful, and they want to sell you drinks and stuff like that, and you know, there's just rings all over the table, and it bothered me. So I'm sat there, and like I had enough space, but then like I didn't want to. I had like to put my drink here, and then my cards had to like kind of go around it, and I had and then they did. There was this one time where they refilled my beer, and they were like going over the game like that, and I was just like, oh my, it just anyway. So this is a personal pet peeve of mine. But yeah, no, overall, like very, very pleasant experience. I really enjoyed, like I said, going and having a focused activity to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, would you recommend Well Played to a fellow gamer? Yay or nay?
I totally would. Overall, I feel like it doesn't replace a thing like the Wyvern Tell. You don't obviously not going to buy games, but I feel like it's a very different experience.
Yeah.
You go there to focus to play on this game. You're able to not spend a whole bunch of money on a new game. You have the assistance. Overall, yes, I would definitely recommend Well Played.
I would recommend Well Played as well, with the caveat that if you do like really quiet, intimate game settings, that is not what you're going to get. You're going to get a very exciting, like exuberant gaming experience. So maybe not be there to practice like your Go or like chess, but go there instead for like, your Catan and your, Carcassonne makes people rage flip tables. So that would be a good one for Well Played.
I would recommend it as well. I really thought it was a positive experience. It exceeded my expectations. So one of the things I noticed on the way out was that they have tournaments that they host, like weekly tournaments. Yeah, so one of them was Carcassonne, and they had like Catan and some other ones like that. So I would definitely recommend it for that kind of setting, where a tournament setting would be great, because I'm assuming they either the whole thing is just for the tournament or like half of it or whatever.
Yeah, something like that, sure.
Yeah, and so I mean, definitely for a game that you've played before, it'd be great because then you don't have to worry about the explaining it or anything.
I noticed that they do role-playing games as well.
Yeah.
So if you've been interested in taking up D&D or playing a White Wolf game or Pathfinder, find out what RPG they happen to be working on that month and get involved.
Actually, speaking on that, they actually did reach out to me personally to help run games there. I've been a little busy myself, so I really haven't got a chance to step up. But they're more than happy to host games and even advertise. So I like that, building what you said, they're building a community aspect there.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving people reasons to come in, not just to go and pay your $5 to get in and play games, but they're trying to build something a little more there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Well Played? Thumbs up? All right. Thumbs up, Well Played. This has been CouchCon Plays Well Played, and we would highly recommend it, so go check them out. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Check out our Patreon page, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.